Right, these are some of my favorite videos to make. This was the last one I did where I did a concept sort of adding an Adventure Tome UI-like system to New World. This video is going to cover a bit more sophisticated concepts and ones that I really want to see come to the game this year, and I hope you guys enjoy them. I've put a solid day of work into this, a couple of hours per design, and this is just something I enjoy. I'm a designer. Mixing that with New World is kind of just a fun little project I can mess around with while there's no content actually in game. I can create concepts of what should be in the game. So without further ado, we'll jump on to the next one. If you want to check out the Adventure Tome one, that will be the first link in the description. But anyways, the first concept is capes. I would like to see the addition of capes. Basically taking away the cape from all the existing skins and chucking that into a section in the Transmog Select Skin UI. And this would also include leaderboard capes. Now, nobody really likes the leaderboard skins and also the leaderboard rewards because they feel very underwhelming because the chest piece doesn't look that great and it just feels it doesn't feel unique. It doesn't feel unique to you. One of the ways that I've seen other MMOs and other games do this is capes. Minecraft, I'm pretty sure WoW has a cape system if I'm not mistaken. You get a cape, you can apply that on any skin. So here's the evasion cape on 2 different skins here. This is what it would look like, and again, this is just a way to actually, have people enjoy the rewards that come from their grind and the effort they put into getting an achievement in the game that you should be rewarding the players for, because they put they dedicated time to get a reward, so you should give them a reward that's worth it. And I think the reward that would be good for that is capes. This might take a little bit of time for AGS to do, but I really would like to see capes. Now, the next one is a UI tweak, a UI fix, and there's going to be a few steps to this. So the thing when it comes to the UI currently in game is I don't mind it. I think the new one, the update they came in with Season 4 was great, where you could swap the divisions around, you could minimize them, and you could even filter them if you so liked. Now this takes that and basically amplifies it, makes it cleaner, and adds some very nice quality of life features, and I'm very excited to show you guys the gear set rework I've cooked up for you guys. So we're just going to hover over some elements here and sort of show you what it's about. Now, I've kind of put all the items or your gear that's equipped on the left side. I kind of hate how it's split up. I really don't like it. I like everything being very minimalistic and compact, especially when it comes to your gear. It should all be in one spot. Having like the weapons and jewelry over here and the armor over here, I don't like it. There's another route you could take to this, is you could actually put this coming out to the side of the inventory, so it's easy to drag things across. Something else you might be noticing off the bat, and we're going to point out everything here, is the currency toolbar at the top left. Now, I don't know why New World doesn't have this. I hate having to go to the faction vendor or to my bio to check my faction tokens. I hate having to pull out my inventory to see my coin all the time. Simply give us a currency toolbar, please, AGS, please. And I've added little arrows so you can actually switch around which position it goes into. You can see that here, that's in the bottom right on this one. We'll get into the screen shortly. But you can see it in the bottom right here, and then it's in the top left here. Just by clicking these arrows, you'll be able to shift it into the 4 corners. By hitting the X, it would actually bring it back into here if you don't want to see it at all while you're playing. Obviously, you'll probably have it hidden in instances, but again, I think it's a great quality of life feature that we should have had a long time ago. Now, when it comes to the left side again, I've kind of minimalized everything. I've put the bullets next to the consumables because they are technically a consumable. I've put the combat gear, the harvesting or the gathering gear, and the mount gear vertical right next to the gear, because it was up here. If you remember, it used to be up here. I think in the cape section we can see that. No, we can't, but it used to be up here, and I feel like that was very out of the way. It's also very hidden. I don't actually have the game pulled up to show you guys, but you know what I'm talking about. I made it more visible. I feel like it's easier to see here. And there's also a camera button. Now, this camera button is not actually to take photos in game, although that should also be a feature. We should also have a photography mode. This would take a photo of your gear set. Think like a New World Buddy, if you've ever used New World Buddy to build a gear set. Think that in game, and it instantly takes a snapshot of your gear to send to friends, to send to your guildmates, to share with your audience on Twitch or YouTube. But yeah, I think this is a fantastic little rework. I've also minimalized all these buttons down here. Looks ugly. They're very hidden, especially the triple dots. We've got 2 options here. I'll show you the one on the next slide. We've got just minimalized buttons here, You might be able to already guess what most of these are. Gearsense, Transmog, Augments. This one is character, so this would take you to the character screen for your attributes and trade, weapon mastery, sorry. This one is loot bias settings. Loot bias settings would be a way to pick what you would like to loot bias instead of it being based on your equipped gear. And next to that is the settings cog for the inventory, which I'll show you guys in the next panel. There's also something else you might have noticed. So in this setting, in this screenshot, you can see these are opened up. This is another, I guess, a version of this. I actually prefer the text because it helps players that might not know what the icons mean. Obviously, us long-time players, we know what it means, but I feel like for new, returning, and just, again, user interface, I guess, pillars, it's good to have text, and I think I actually prefer the text. I think it helps sort of players understand what's going on. So, again, bag settings. Now, there's something you may have noticed here in the inventory. Folders. I think there should be folders in the divisions that you can customize. So for example, this folder here has our gypsum in it. This folder here has some different heart runes, and you could customize these to your hearts, effectively whatever you want to do. The yellow one is the one that's currently open. The blue ones are ones that are closed. So yellow would have the these items in it. Yellow has these heart runes in it, and when you open the other one, it would swap around, obviously. And you could have up to maybe 3 folders per division. That gets better than that. The bag settings: sort filters, salvage filters, search filters, add folders, add divisions, and icon styles. So adding divisions would effectively be adding a whole nother section that you can name to whatever you want. So obviously you have Amazon Games default divisions, so like rewards, ammo. You can't change those, but you can hide those in the sort filters like you currently can in game. However, I want you to also be able to add your own divisions, whether that be for gear sets. Personally, I want a division just for my artifacts, so I can have a collection going of all of them. This is, again, a simple quality of life feature that I feel like should have been in game a long time ago. The next one is gear sets. This is the one I put the most time into, and this is the one I'm pretty proud of. So, as you can see, when you hit the gear sets button, it's still very similar to the current one. There might be 2 things you're noticing, or 3 things that you notice that probably should have launched with gear sets. That is attributes, skill trees, and loot bias toggle. This is something I'm pretty proud of. I am very happy with how it turned out. So effectively, you can toggle which gear set you want to loot bias, and this means you don't have to worry about whatever you can use whatever gear you want in a dungeon or an instance, and you get the benefits of what loot you actually want. This should have launched with loot biasing. I don't know why it didn't. It's also a genius way to make it so the player actually gets what they want. It's also, in my opinion, should be a very simple addition to the game, and it also better be coming in a soon to be update. And again, next to that, very simple. I thought it was a decent scale here is the attributes. You've got a little pen symbol like you do for the names of the gear sets. You just hit this. You type in what attributes you want. You hit this, and it'll bring up like a box of the weapon mastery, and you'll spec your 20 points into what you want for that gear set. I think this is, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I could not be more happy. That is this screen. Now is onto the next concept. Nope, sorry, one more thing, Transmog. I did redo the Transmog UI to a much more free-flowing, much more immersive experience. So you can rotate your character around, not like you do in-game. I'm talking true, effectively viewing a 3D model like you would in Blender or a game editor. Those kind of 3D, effectively, gimbals, or what do you call it? Gizmos. I was trying to get the word there. But effectively true 3D, effectively rotation and manipulation of the camera to get the look or to get the angle you need to view the skin. So you can also zoom out, zoom in, or zoom out, zoom in, and then you can rotate around. You can take a screenshot and share that with your friends or mates. Then again, it's a much larger Transmog UI. It's a lot more immersive. It's a lot more, I guess, incentivizing you to buy Transmog tokens. On to the next concept. This is, again, another one of my favorites, is Mutated Outpost Rush. What is Mutated Outpost Rush? Mutated Outpost Rush, the classic experience, but with a twist. unique modifiers that keep the battleground fresh every week you jump in, or weekend you jump in. So the concept behind this is effectively, think modifiers like mutated dungeons, except for PvP. Now this would only run during weekends to incentivize people to play it, and it would also give decent rewards, maybe double XP if you've ever played Call of Duty. Think maybe double Azoth, something along those lines. And it's just something fun, it's fresh, you can fuck around with your guildmates, and it's just different. So we'll go onto the screen. What happens when you click on the screen? Active mutations, rapiers and hatchets only, limited constitution, preset gear, but effectively this is just some examples. This opens up infinite possibilities of what the devs could do, and it's using an existing experience and freshening it up to make it more enjoyable. It is a very simple thing to do, in my opinion. It shouldn't be that hard to do and manipulate some modifiers. I think this would add a ton of value into something that already exists, instead of having to create a whole new OPR map, even though level design isn't that hard. I think this would be amazing. Limited time game modes like Call of Duty in New World. They run on weekends. It's a fun event you can show up to with your guildmates and get maybe double Azoth Salt or something along those lines. That is effectively all of the concepts for today's video. The next concept video, which is probably going to be in a couple of weeks, is going to be focusing on more significant gameplay loops or gameplay design. But this is sort of a more laid back, more minimal quality of life and more small sized pieces of content reworks I would like to see come to the game this year. These are the kind of concepts I would expect to hit the game this year, and I'll be concerned if these kind of things didn't hit the game this year. With that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. I put a lot of effort into these. I absolutely love making them. You know, it means a lot to me. I find this very fun as a designer. It's very relaxing, and just have a Twitch stream open while I do it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.